today. It's
I'm gonna miss it. I mean, I hear it on the tape. I'll miss it live.
according to Rashi, in not over here, but Rashi somewhere else says that it's usher because it doesn't. Yeah, we're live. Okay. Today is Daf Chof Aleph, and we're actually holding on Daf Chof Aleph. Nice.
3 down lines, right?
All right. We said yesterday, Lo'ifel Behema, there's a couple of things that are required in order for dam, for blood, to be asur. It has to have Tumah Chamura and Tumah Kala. The animal, or whatever it is, has to have Tumah Kala and Tumah Chamura. We're going to be discussing that. Tumah Kala is Tumas Oichlim, the ability to be susceptible to Tumah for food and to give it over. And Tumah Chamura, Rashi says, is Matamba B'masa, by carrying it. Okay, so we're holding on top of Daf Chof Aleph. La'oifel behema, the pasuk says la'oifel behema. So here's the pasuk. V'chol dam lo yisoichlu la'oif v'la behema. And then it says again, kol nefesh shetoichal kol dam. Zog the Gemara, la'oifel behema. Really, according to what we just discussed, that there's a tumah kala, a tumah chamura, so it could have said la behema. What's la'oif? It could have said one of the two. It says the Gemara, each word comes to darshan something. Ima oif she'im bo kilayim, af behema she'im bo kilayim. Perhaps, as the Gemara is going to describe on Amud Beis, there's 3 categories of kilayim. What are the 3 categories of kilayim? There's the isser of mating 2 different species together, that's one kilayim. There's the isser of lisachrish shor v'chamor yachtov. Are you allowed to plow like this? Is that mutter or asur?
Should be fine.
It's asur.
Even with an ostrich.
It's an ostrich.
No, it's not real. You added that, right?
Yeah, I added the tzitzis, that's what I added.
Oh wait, there's tzitzis on there?
Avada. All my guys have
No, but
tzitzis.
the ostrich, you say it's not a real.
Yeah. So no, people do ride these ostriches. It's just that he wasn't chayrish his field with it. But now we're discussing, as the Gemara is going to say, we're discussing the third climb. What's the third and famous climb? The climb of shatnez. So when it comes to a bird, there's no climb. You're allowed to use its feathers together with linen. So memela I'll come, it's a little tricky here. So memela what? So maybe I'll come to exclude something that does have shatnez. What does have shatnez? What animal has shatnez? Only one animal, really. A sheep. You can't take the wool of a sheep and combine it with linen. But you can take the hair of a goat, we learned, I think in Chulin or whatever it was, somewhere, that you're allowed to take the hair of the goat. And where? Whatever. Okay, so maybe the word la'oif comes to exclude a sheep. All animals, even sheep. What's special about an animal? It doesn't have the halacha of shiluch haken. So again, when I say that keves, when a sheep is excluded, meaning what? Let's not forget what we're talking about. We're talking about the isser of eating blood. So think that a sheep, you're allowed to eat its blood. You're allowed to drink its blood. Kamash malana. And now what are we saying? A behemoth doesn't have the halacha of shiluch haken. So memela what? Which bird does have halacha of shiluch haken? Only kosher birds. So I would think that all kosher birds, their blood is mutter. That's why I have to say. It has to say also la'oif, that even a kosher bird, its blood is asur. As the Gemara, ve'ema kol dam kolal. So here we have the pasuk again. V'chol dam. What does v'chol dam in red mean? Every blood in the world. It's a cloud, a generalization. Then the pasuk narrows it down. La'oifel behema. It's a specification, a prat. So maybe, what's the Gemara's kasha? Ve'em kol dam klal behema prat, klal prat klal. Ein ba klal mashav prat. Or behema in mida achrina loy. So what's the problem here? So what's the kasha? Okay, so mida achrina loy. The kasha is because yesterday we went through a whole series of limudim to tell me why not a sheret. To makala, to machamura, it has to be similar, it has to be meat, it has to be this. Just say, it's not a oiva behema. A sheret is not a oiva behema. I'm finished. End the story. I don't need other limudim. I know automatically that it doesn't include a human being. And it doesn't include an egg. Right? Yesterday we were learning, how do you know? No eggs. It has to be min basar, and the egg is not a min basar, we said. Tell me that it's not even a behema. So the Gemara, no, because it says again, nefesh hashatoicha kol dam chazav kolal. Don't forget about pasuk chav zayin, where it goes again, kol dam. Kol dam is another generalization. Memela, it means all bloods, even of human beings, and even blood found in an egg should be asur. And memela, that's why we had to come on to all the things that we said yesterday. Uklal prat, uklal yatadon elkein prat. V'loidomi, ask the Gemara. V'loidomi klal basra l'klal kamo. Take a look. In pasuk chavav it says v'chol dam. What is this pasuk telling us? Lo soichlu. What's lo soichlu? A lav. But in pasuk chav zayin it says kol dam v'nichrisa. So we're talking about chorus and we're talking about a lav. So how could you put them in one limud? How do you have a klal, pratu klal, if they're not similar? One is a lav and one is a klal. One is a lav and one is a chorus. So the Gemara Itano, the Rabbi Shmuel, klali brought it down shinim min hadin gavna. Yeah, it goes according to Rabbi Shmuel that has no problem learning it like that. Even though they're not similar, he still learns it like that. Omar Mar, klali pratu klali atadon elokena prat. Ma prat min forish dovishish be tuma kala tuma chamura. So again, what's tuma kala and tuma chamura? Tuma kala is tumas oichlin. So if a piece of nevela, we're going to get into it now. If you have a piece of meat, it's susceptible to tuma. You can't be metamet, and once it's tummy, what? It could be metamet, other foods. But it itself can become tummy tumas oichlin. Tuma kala, tuma chamura, and what's tuma chamura? That if you carry it, it's a very strong tuma. You become tummy. An avela, a human corpse, tuma chamura. V'yesh bo isur veheter. You shecht it, and then it becomes mutter. Without shechting it, it's asur. V'yesh bo min basar. It's a meat. I've called davar sheyesh bo tuma kala v'tuma chamura. So anything else that has a tuma kala, tuma chamura, and is meat, what else is there in the world? We just said all animals, all kosher animals, and all birds that have meat and have tuma kala and tuma chamura. So what else is there? Afkal, everything else. A chagav doesn't have tuma kala, tuma chamura. So what is it? That's we said yesterday. Chagav is not included in that. Sheretz is not. Doesn't have tuma chamura. So what has a tumah chamura and is included? Says the Gemara, Avkol diktoni la'asui mai. Now it can't be a chaya because that's already included in the behema. Omer avada baroven la'asui domo shel koi. What's a koi? Dug this out from Chulin, Daf Pei. There's a koi. A guy wrote a sefer on Chulin and he decided this is a koi. I don't know if it's true or not, but at least there's some sort of picture. This guy, this is a deer, this is a goat, and out came a bria b'fnei atzma. We're going to go according to.
That's what it looks like.
Which is also lachila, right?
Why? It's a suffix. It's chaylev is a suffix. It's chaylev is also.
Mississippi style.
Why not? It comes from two kosher animals.
Son of a whatever. Goat.
A koi. Okay.
He's the real McCoy.
So memela dama shel koi is asur. I would think that a koi is by itself. You hear Chaim?
What is going on over there?
Chaim's there today. Sure.
Is there a kiddush over there?
Zog the Gemara.
I'll crash the kiddush, I don't care.
Micah Sava, Ika Sava, Koi Sveiku. Now the Gemara is just going to say that we need to be talking about the mandama that says a koi is bria b'fnei atzmo. We had the whole sugya in Chulin. What is a koi? Who is a koi? Akopanim. If you say that a koi is a suffix, then there's no reason for a pasuk, because mimanavshach, either it's a behema or it's a chaya, but it's one of those, so memel it's already included. It's a kral mesa sveika elikasava koi bria b'fnei atzmo. If a koi is a third category, it's not a behema, it's not a chaya. So I would think perhaps its blood is mutter, kamash malon, the klal pratu klal. Once we're talking about a koi, let's just finish it up. How do I know that the chaylev of a koi is osir? It's not like its father or its mother, the deer, that the chaylev is mutter. Mikol chaylev. All chaylev is osir, so that includes a koi. Nivlase minalon. What does nivlase mean? In this Gemara it means, how do you know that it's osir to eat a dead koi? A koi drops dead without shchita. How do you know I can't eat it? Mikol nevela. Gidanosha minolan. How do you know you're not allowed to eat the sciatic nerve, the gidanosha? That I know because hayorech tali rachmona. Gidanosha has to do with the spoon shape of the yorech, as we learned in Chulin. And memela, this koi has the same yorech that other animals have, and memela zot. Where's the gav yorech? To matzoi. How do you know that it transmits tumah? And how do you know the hilchas shchita? Remember hilchas shchita? I don't really remember, but there was drasa, chaloda, something like that. Shia, thank you. Huh? Hagrama. What was the last one? Ikur. We had Ikur yesterday. No, he said Ikur, to rip out the pipes. So how do you know all these halachas apply? He says the Gemara is svara. All of a sudden now it's a svara. We had 3 psukim, now we could say svaras. Middle called mili Rabbi Rachmana kibehema, since everything else is like a behema. To Moses shchitasi now kibehema. I think you'd have to look into this a little bit. So maybe 2 psukim are enough. Why need 3? Maybe 3 is too much. You can't learn. Whatever, fine. There's a svara here. Omar Mar. Oitzidam mahalchi shtayim. What walks on 2 feet? Only human beings. Sheyesh b'm tumah chamura. They could. The dog also walks on 2 feet sometimes.
Nah, not really.
Come to my house, I'll show
Monkeys
you.
walk all the time.
I got a dog, he's not walking too far on 2 feet.
What?
He gets stand up.
Yeah. When he wants to
Monkeys
treat.
actually walk
Yeah.
Again.
Ostriches, there's a bird.
Right.
But
All birds.
monkeys really.
What about all birds? They walk. They also
No,
walk.
monkeys really.
Yeah, okay, fine.
You do?
But it's called the mahalach shtayim. Sheyesh b'm tumah chamura, ve'im b'm tumah kala. Human beings, the body of a human has tumah chamura. M'tam b'masa according to Rashi. Ma'ago maybe. Ve'im b'm tumah kala. They don't have that light tumah of being susceptible to tumas oichlin. Why? Vermini. This is Gishmak Sugya. Vermini. Hachoitech min ha'adam. If somebody takes out a piece of flesh from a human being, a live human,
Just cuts it out.
and he wants to, what does he want to do with it? We have to see. Cuts it out. Mamish cuts it out.
The guy's arm.
Right. Mamish I right out of his arm. Sorach Machshav, when I was starting out with a baboon in Africa, there was a big, large baboon that he stole our food. No, he stole our food, a ganav. Mamish a ganav. He had a trick.
Right?
No, we had all our food, and the guys from the tour, a few of the helpers, not Jewish people, they were carrying the food, and the baboon came out of nowhere and ran over to the guy with his mouth open and he showed his teeth and just took all our food. Like he polished off trays of food. So I went really close. I was going to chop it away. So the guy said, "Listen, everybody's scared." He said, "Let me tell you something." And he rolled up his sleeve and he said, "You see this? He's missing a chunk from his arm." He said his own dog took it out. He says the baboon could kill a German Shepherd in a second. He says this is mamish from his arm, a piece out. He said arm. You reminded me of this thing.
He was telling you
No
not to-
shaykhs in
not
this
to start
Gemara.
up with the baboon.
He said, "Yeah, please don't start up with that thing." Yeah,
You needed him to tell you that.
Exactly.
I didn't go
You
too
didn't
close. He's a
understand
foot away. It's like he's busy eating.
You didn't get that by
It was a good picture. It requires. Listen to this. If you take a piece of meat out of a person, it's not automatically food. You have to decide that you have intent to eat it, and you need hechsher tumah. You want it to become tumah, you have to pour some water on it. V'kashilon, and the obvious question is, machshava lamali. Why do I need intent? Why did the guy rip out a piece of flesh? I don't know what the story was exactly. You could say that we're talking about a surgery, but we're saying even in a case that he wanted it for food, for whatever reason, he was stuck on an island and that was his last resort. Ayin Sham, that happened once, right? That whole plane of soccer players that went down. Fine. Sorach machshav ve'hechsher, whatever, and they were worried about tumah at that time. They were eating the flesh, but they were also concerned about tumah. Sorach machshav ve'hechsher. V'kashi lo machshav lamali. The fact that he ripped out a piece of meat, obviously he wants to use it. What does he want to use it for? He wants to use it for food. Yeah, he ripped it out for food, but for his dog. And that, that's not enough to make it susceptible to tumah. Dog food is not human food, and it doesn't have enough machshava to consider it food. As the Gemara of Eloi, let's just explain what we're talking about, because we all know the concept of roy lachilas kelev, not roy lachilas kelev. So how does that fit in? Very pashut. V'lo basnan klal omru b'tumah. There's a klal tumah. Kol yuchad lechol adam. If it's human for human consumption, tamei achi yipazim achilas kelev. It has tumah all the way until it's so gross that even a dog won't eat it. Right? These are scavenger animals. They go into the garbage can, they eat. If a dog doesn't eat it, then it doesn't have tumah anymore. So what do you see? That it is dependent on a dog. If a dog does want to eat it, then it does have tumah. So what are you telling me? That because he made it dog food, it's not susceptible to tumah? Says Gemara, no. If something already has tumah, to get rid of the tumah, it has to go all the way down to the level of not roy lachilas kelev. Kivin the mikara have a chazi la'adam. Since it was roy la'adam, la'sukim etumah ajibaz machilas kelev. Hacha la'achuzei le'tumah. You want to put tumah into it. What's the shear? If it's roy la'adam, so then okay, then it's fine. Then it's also for a dog. But if you cut it out for dog consumption, and memela, it's not mekabel tumah. We're talking about human flesh, and it says that you need a thought. You have to consider it food. Now, for what do you need to consider it food? If a human dies, his body gives off tumah automatically, without any thought. It's the worst level of tumah possible. So why in the world do you need thought here? The only reason would be, that I could think of, Shalom Aleichem Reb Hillel. When did you get here? So we don't have to daven. We should? Okay, it's tremendous chizuk. Reb Hillel is not feeling well. He has his battle with his issues, and he's still here today. Tremendous thing. Shkoyach. Hanemili mechayim. We want to say that the reason why you're allowed to eat the blood of a human is because a human doesn't have tumah kala. But a human does have tumah kala. When you rip off a piece of flesh from a human, you have to think about it and make it into food. So Mela, it does have tumah kala. It's susceptible to the tumah food. Yes, when the owner of that flesh is alive. But if it's a dead body, then it doesn't have tumah kala. It only has tumah chamura. You can't have tumah kala when the tumah is so strong. So Mela asked the Gemara, you're telling me a human is different than an animal because a human doesn't have tumah kala, but an animal does have tumah kala. When in the same exact case, when a person is dead, he has tumah chamura and no tumah kala, and when an animal is dead, it has tumah chamura and tumah kala. How could that be? You're talking about the flesh of an animal. It's only the tumah chamura. Vimdam, and if you're talking about the blood of an animal, tumah chamura also. Where do you have a tumah kala by an animal? We pass like Basilil, who say that the blood of an animal is like an animal. And just like the bus of an animal's tummy, so too is the blood. So where in the world do we have a case of an animal that doesn't give us tumah chamura, but only tumah kala? It's two cases we have. What are the possibilities? Here's possibility number one. In order for oichel to be susceptible to tumah, it has to be the size of a kebeitza. In order for an avela to give off, transmit tumah, or even a human to transmit tumah, it has to be the size of a kezayis. So now you have a little bit less than a kezayis, and a little bit less. What you can't see, Judah?
Looks like an orange, not a pizza.
It's a red. It's a brown beitza. I thought it was a cool one.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, grand. You have a little bit less than a kebeitza and a little bit less than an avela of a kezayis. A little bit less than a kezayis, a little bit less than a kebeitza. You want to make a tziro if you want to make a combination of a kebeitza. So if you think in your mind that this is food, that this less than kezayis is food, then it's mitzdarif to the kebeitza, and now you have a kebeitza of food that's susceptible to tumah. Yes? No?
Yes.
If this, it looks like an apple, looks like an orange, doesn't look like an egg, whatever it is.
What matters is the size, not what it is.
It's a shtickle bigger than a kebeitza. Maybe this is what the beitza in the time of the Nachamal. If this olive was a piece of animal, and I thought in my mind that I want it to be food, then it can be mitzdarif to this kebeitza to be susceptible to tumah. What if this olive was a human corpse, a piece of a human corpse, and it's not yet a kezayis? If it was a kezayis, it would give off all the tumah in the world. It would be tumah chamura. To complete the shear, it was a little bit less than a kezayis of a human flesh. Could it be mitzdarif to almost an egg to make it a piece of food? The answer is no. Why? Because human flesh is not food. Only a cannibal considers it a food. But most people don't consider it food. Maybe it's not mitzdarif. But if it's the piece of an avela, and it's less than the shear of tumah, because it's less than kezayis, it could be mitzdarif to a kebeitza to be considered food. That's what the Gemara says. And maybe what? And maybe we'll have a situation of tumah kala. Because even if this is susceptible to tumah, it's only tumah kala. It's the tumah of oichlim. You're asking me how to get to a tumah kala by an animal and not by a human? This is the only case I can think of. Because if it's a human, what? A nevela.
If it's a
Yeah,
human,
nevela.
it would be-
You can get it by shutting the animal.
And then it's not.
Then you should do makala.
Yeah, but it would have to be similar to a human. You can't shecht a human. I want to compare it human to animal. In this case,
So what would be in this case by human and animal? By pochas mit kezayis?
if this was human flesh, it would not be mitzdarif ever to the kebeitza because it can't be considered food because both of that is a kol adam. It's not food. It's not food. So memela I can't get to a tumakala. By behema it is food. It's a piece of steak. It's food. It's just less than a kezayis and it's dead. It's an avela. So memela, since I'm machshavit, I could be mitzarif it to my egg.
Even though they're completely different animals, different meat.
Yeah,
species,
food is food.
Different species.
You could take a bit of cake, a half a kibbutz of cake, and a half a kibbutz of steak, and put them together, and you have food that's mitama to masaychel. Lo nitzrucha, says the Gemara inside. Elikadis na nivlas behema tmei b'chol makoim. If let's say a rhinoceros drops dead in any place, in any city, nobody's eating it really. Nobody wants to eat it. It's not something you eat. Nivlas oiftar b'kfarim, and even if a pigeon drops dead, nobody wants to eat a dead pigeon. Tzarech machshava ve'ein tzarech hechsher. So therefore, in my mind, I need to decide I want this to be food. I want a rhinoceros meat. If I don't think that, then it doesn't become food. However, ein tzarech hechsher, because there is a halacha that anything that's soifoi lava yudei tumah chamura, anything that's going to give us a tremendous amount of tumah, the big tumah of masa maga, then you don't need a hechsher. You don't need hechsher tumah for that. Nivlas behema ta'ira b'chol makoim. But if it's a kosher animal, that even we're talking about goyim here. Rabbi said even goyim won't eat all these dead animals. But if it's a dead cow, a nevela tahira, they might eat it. V'nivlas iftar v'chele b'shvakim. And if it's in the marketplace, then even a dead pigeon somebody might buy in a marketplace. A shuk. In Aramaic, it's a shvakim. So in that case, since there are people, you'll find customers that already consider it food. You don't have to consider it food. And mela, you don't need a machshava. You certainly don't need a hechsher because it's tumah chamur. Rav l'Rebbi machshava lamali. Machshava lamali l'tumah kala. Why do I need a machshava for the lighter tumah to make it susceptible to tumah soichlin? He gufa tumah. It itself is tamei. Omar le kigoindika pachis mikazais nevela v'tzirfa lepachis mikabeitzo achlin. The high v'hai have a kebeitzo. Again, so that was the picture. You have less than a kebeitzo. You have less than a kazais of the bad stuff. And since you decided that it's going to be food, then you had a machshava and it's combined to the kebeitzo. In that case, yachil lebayim nami hechsher. The Tony the Baby Shmuel Kozer Zirua She Zorea Mazroim Yuchem Shein Sofer L'Tamatum Chamura B'Tzor Chechsher I've called Shein Sofer L'Tamatum Chamura Tzor Chechsher. This half a kizayis is not going to have a tumah chamura. Omar lei ani mili bochem da'alma d'lesboi pachas mikizayis nevela. When you start have food, it's never going to get to tumah chamura. Aval hacha they give begavei pachas mikizayis nevela. But this half a kizayis nevela, keeping the ilu mitzor v'lei kizayis leiboyachsher. It itself could become a tumah chamura if you add a little bit more nevela to it. Then it would be tumah chamura. Or as Rashi says in other places, that it came from a source that eventually that's tumah chamura. Right now it's less than a kazayis, but it itself. But other foods not. How do you know?
I know.
You have that app, don't you?
I got lots of things. But yes.
Daf Chav Aleph Amud Beis. Pugei mace, but the human body, the flesh from a human. Avagavdim Malele. Even if you try to fill up the egg or the orange, whatever you guys think it is, you try to fill it with that kazayis, that almost the kazayis of a mace, it's not going to make it into food. Normal people don't eat human flesh, and it's not food. So therefore what? So back to the bottom line. What are we trying to get to? Memela, you can't get to tumah kala. The only way I can get to tumah kala is through this, and this only works on an animal. It doesn't work on a human. And then mela, the blood of a human being, is mutter. It's not. I'm saying it's not as awesome. We're going to see. So what do you guys think? If we stop right here, and you're not Rabbi Schoenberg, you didn't learn the rest of the daf, are you allowed to eat or drink human blood? Give you a cup of blood. Here, you allowed to drink it? Or other questions. Negate to us. You floss your teeth for the first time in 6 years. You know what's going to happen? Your teeth are going to start bleeding. Are you allowed to suck it in and swallow it?
100%.
100%. And what if you have a boo-boo on your finger? It's bleeding. You're not allowed to?
No.
Also, mamish. The raisa?
No, not the rest. Huh?
The rabbanan?
Not,
Okay.
I don't know
You're
if
very on. You're very on today. What?
Once it's outside,
Maris
your
ayin.
body,
Okay.
once it's exposed to the ear.
So yeah. So we're gonna see. That's you have to stay to the end of the year to figure that one out. Rav Chananya Omar afilu teimed avikizayis. I have another case. He says, I have a shtickle picture. Yeah. It's mamish not negeh to the daf. I realize now it's not negeh. But here's a kazayis in dough. There are people, Arabs, that do this. It's almost being mechupa. But the problem is it's not a kazayis. We're not talking about kazayis. We're talking about meat. We're talking about human flesh or behemoth flesh. Al Capone, what's going on here?
What is it, a meat pie?
Here's what's going on. He takes a piece, pretend this olive, it's a full olive. And a full olive's worth of meat, we're talking about a meat, pretend it's a piece of meat, is metamel. It's tumah chamura. You touch it, you're done. You gotta go to the mikvah. But if I shield it, if I cover it with dough, so now I'm not touching it. Now I have a shield around it. That's only good by an animal. But by human, by corpse, if you have a kazayis, the tumah is so strong, but it bursts out of the dough and it's going to make you tameh. So that's his pshat. His pshat is, No, I feel the tame have a kazais. I have a full kazais worth of meat. He covered it with dough. And what happened was that the dough together with the kazayis is a full kibetza. Now I have the full shear. But you should need to put some water on it, liquid. So he comes up with a new pshat. He doesn't like the pshat that we said before, that eventually it could be part of another piece, that together it's mitamatum chamura, or like the Rashi pshat that it came from a source of tumah. He says no. The fact that you could lift it up without touching it, you lift up a box that in the box has this tumah, it makes you tameh. You lift up the dough, touching the dough that's on a table, you don't become susceptible to tumah. But if you lift it up, masa, that will make you tameh. And memela, it doesn't have to break anything because you are lifting, you're moving the tumah, and that makes you tameh. That's the whole concept of the masa, that you don't have to touch it. You don't have to physically touch it as long as you are lifting it. You're right over here. The Gemara says before, over here you're not becoming tameh by touching it because there's a shield, but you're lifting it and that makes you tameh.
But if you lift the table,
What's the difference what you lift? Whatever you lift, you are tameh.
it's only by humans, or it's also by...
Yeah, by tumah chamura, by human. The fukim meis the apagav the chipo bebotzik mitama tumah chamura. Sorry, so no, it's talking about an animal, even in a vela, but a human. Forget about lifting, touching it. You would also become tamei. The tumah b'kas v'oila b'kas v'yeredes. And memela, therefore, the blood of a human being is mutter because it's different than that of an animal. An animal, I could shield it with the dough, and a human not. Omar Mar, I don't know if we should be goyers this. Yatsu shrotzim shem b'em tumah v'loi sheretz mitama v'maga v'masale mitama. Doesn't really fit in Rashi Asakasha over here that we're talking about. By sheretz, by bird also, we had to say it's begadim. So fine. So we'll skip that. Omar Mar. Yotza dam dogim dam chagavim shekulim heter. The blood of a fish, the blood of grasshoppers is kulan heter. What does that mean? My kula heter. Ilaim the chelbay mutar. The reason why the blood is mutar is because the chelev of a fish is mutar. Hari chaya the chelbay mutar v'dam asur. You see, it's not dependent on the chelev because a chaya, an impala, it could be is kosher, but the chelev of an impala is kosher, but the dam is also. She'll tell me it's dependent on the gidan asher. Doesn't have a sciatic nerve isser and dam yasser, so it's not dependent on the gidan asher. My kula heter, at the end of the day, you don't have to shecht it, and memela the blood is mutter. Omar Mar, ma'oiv she'im boy klayim, av behema, as we said before with the picture of the ostrich, tamaloi mar behema. So I would think, what does the Gemara say? A bird doesn't have klayim. The three types of klayim. So I would think that if that a bird that doesn't have klayim, maybe its blood is mutter. Tamaloi mar, I'm sorry, the sheep. You said the sheep that does have klayim, one animal that has klayim, maybe its blood should be mutter. Tamaloi ma behema. That's why we need the word behema to say even a sheep is also. Klayim demai. What kind of klayim are we talking about? He climbed the harba to mate it with another animal. V'klayim the charisha, and one more time to set it up with another animal to plow your field. I was debating whether to go with the ostrich or a little like pigeon, a guy like plowing his field with a pigeon. I went with the ostrich. I'll go bonim. That is also, it's also to plow your field with an ostrich and another animal. Vosnan chayav oiv keyotzvem elo mabayo shetzamro in chayav elo mishum kalayim. Right, ostrich. By the way, the megadol ostriches. How do you say megadol in English? They breed ostriches. They raise ostriches. Why? Because the feathers are very. They do a lot of stuff with the feathers. There's no, me too. The eggs. I don't. But there's no isser kalayim. You could use the feathers of an ostrich together with linen. That's not awesome. And Memela, I would think that all animals have to be like it, and there's an animal called a sheep that its wool is usher, and Memela, its blood should be mutter. Kamash melom v'labeima. Omer Avid Omer Rav. Dam shrotzim. We have to read this carefully and slowly. What does Rav say? Dam shrotzim loikin olav b'kazayis. You get malchus. Remember this. You get malchus if you eat the blood of a sheretz the size of a kazayis. You don't need a revius, one kazayis. Meisvei, damat choil. This is our Mishnah.
Even if it's a whole sheretz, which is less than kazayis?
What? You're talking about, blood. No chagovim. Shrotzim. Shrotzim in this case is not, we're not talking about shmoyne shrotzim. We're talking about shrotzim, rodents, mice, anything that's on the ground, anything, cockroaches, shrotzim. I mean, they might be remosim. Damat choil, meisvei. It says in our Mishnah, damat choil, damat leiv, damat klois, damat evorim, harelu beloisase. Right? The Mishnah went through a whole list of things that are dam nefesh. Those are really bad. But there are other dam, the dam that's absorbed in the heart. The ivarim is a loisasa. And then there's another category. Dam ha'chishtayim. The blood of a human being. And we should remember this also, because it says dam ha'chishtayim. What's the halacha? Dam shrotzim u'remosim osir. Over here it says a shtickle different, that the blood of a human being is osir. That's what it says. But we're not focusing on that. We're focusing on dam shrotzim u'remosim osir. And it says, Vein chayavim olav. Mefurish, you don't get malchus. So why does Rav say, Dam shrotzim loikin olav, you get malchus? So Gemara could be mefarish, Mein chayavim olav karos. It doesn't mean you don't get malchus, it just means you don't get karos. Alav mechayev, but you do get alav. First problem is, chodel dahin reisha. Then it fits right in. So why do you make two categories? There's a category of alav, and there's another category called Damadam, but they're all lav, so just put it in one category. Void, Tanam lav, Namikom Maitle. Tiktani, we learned, Yotzadam Shrotzim Shein Bem Tuma Chamura. Right? That was yesterday, and we even spoke about it today. Adam Sheretz doesn't have Tuma Chamura, like Adam Behema Memela doesn't have a lav. Omar Reb Zera, Big Chiddush. His Rubai Mishum Sheretz Loikel. If a person is about to eat a kazayis of dam, and they said, wait a minute, don't eat it. The two Eidim come and say, we're warning you. If you eat that sheretz, they called it by the sheretz name, you're going to get malchus, he gets malchus. But if they said, don't eat that blood, then he doesn't get malchus. His mishum sheretz loika, mishum dam in loika. Fine. Omarav, dam dogim shekinsoy. If you take a cup of fish blood, you're not allowed to drink it. Why? Because we're going to see that it's marasayin. It looks as if you're drinking the blood of a behemoth, and that's also
Different color though.
Yeah. Aren't they both red? They're
Can tell difference?
but a person that watches it, observes it from the side, he thinks it's the blood of an animal. He doesn't take a microscope to see if there's a difference. It says you're allowed to drink the blood of a fish and the blood of a grasshopper.
So in places where they do regularly eat fish blood, there wouldn't be marasayin. Marasayin only applies if
No, we're going to see in a second. There's places that they regularly in Africa, they'll take their cow and they'll poke a hole in it and they draw blood, it squirts out heavily, and then they just drink it on the spot for protein.
Is that even l'chaim?
That's dam and achai. That's 100% also. Rafilu Chatchila says the Gemara, Ahi B'Shloi Kinsoy. This blood that we're talking about that's 100% mutar lechatchila is when it's not concentrated in one place. If you put it in one place, he gathered it, then it's asur. So you're telling me that if you have blood of a human being, it should be asur. If you have blood on top of bread, you just move it to the side and you could eat it. You could eat the blood. If the blood of a fish has the scales of the fish and it's noticeable that it's fish blood, then it's mutar. So the blood of a varim that's absorbed in the varim of an animal, different body parts of an animal, you get malchus. Blood of a human being and shratzim is only asur to gather it together, and that's only midrabanan, that people are going to think that maybe you're drinking the blood of behema. And 1 minute, and yeah.
And notice next to it say this is fish blood, and not thing that's not allowed. It has to have scale inside.
Interesting. And that's what I'm about to say. That the fish with kaskasim is mutar in only that case. He's saying the Rebbe Kivegan. Let's go weiter. Omer Rav Sheshes. We have 3 minutes. Omer Rav Sheshes. Dam mahalchi shtayim afilu mitzvahs piroi shein boy. The human blood. This is where we're getting to that sugya. The human blood. There's not even a mitzvah to not eat it. Now we're going to see that it's not so posh. It says that the blood of a human, dam shrotzim, this is in the Mishnah. Asur, ki tanya asur, the parish. So he's going to say pshat. Rav Sheshes is going to say that the Mishnah is talking about when the blood separated from the body. Tikom Rav or Rav Sheshes. What does it say? Yeah, Rav Sheshes bidloi peirash. When it didn't separate from the body, then there's no Isra at all. There's no even minug to not eat it. Now, it says the blood within your teeth. No problem, you could swallow it. So there's a question here in the Rishonim. You could look in Tosfos. If you have a wound on your finger, blood is coming out of your finger, according to Rav Sheshes l'chorah, you could just suck it and eat it, no problem. But it's not separated. It's outside, but it's not separated. It has to be separated in a cup, let's say, to be asur. But some say, they bring a Rashi, that Rashi says that that's already the reason why you're allowed to suck the blood in your mouth, because nobody sees you. Ain't a royoi.
That's the reason.
No, Rashi says the reason that
No one sees it.
I'm telling you, no, Rashi says not because it's outside or inside, that nobody sees you. And memela blood, there's no marasayin. You're swallowing, nobody knows what's in your mouth. But on your finger it would be also according to the Rashi. So l'chayr it's machlekes rishonim if you could suck your finger. Avi. Shkoyach.